Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with a quick updated deck profile, and today I'll be showing you guys my Phantasm Spiral deck. So similar to the Cubic deck I profiled yesterday, this is very much a link-ready deck, as the big YouTubers like to call it. This deck doesn't really go into the extra deck much, if at all. I think yesterday at my local tournament, I went into it for the first time ever in all the testing I've done with this deck, but it didn't really matter too much because I was in a losing position no matter what I did at that point. But yeah, this deck's pretty cool. It's kind of neat how it can search out, basically hand traps when you have the field spell on the field and a normal monster on field. It can really stun your opponent's plays if you use them right. It's by no means like a meta competitive deck. It at best is like maybe like a tier 3 rogue deck, but it's a lot of fun for me, and it's kind of cool when you can steal wins with vanilla beatdown. So starting off with the monsters, we have the 2 Phantasm Spiral Dragon. I almost want to cut this down to 1 because I really hate drawing this with card demise, but you do need 2 when you have the play for the OTK, but I almost always side out 1 going into Game 2 and Game 3, so it may be something I consider cutting back down to 1. Then I do play the Beast Warrior engine, so we have the 3 Gene Wart Werewolf and the 2 Dragoons of Dragonia. There's other engines you can play. The Dino engine's the one that I've considered the most over the Beast Warriors, but the reason why I play the Beast Warriors myself is because with Dragoons of Draconia, it is a pendulum that you can play in scale to get out of your hand for card demise. Of course, it's not as good now in Link format since the Pendulum Zone does count for one of your 5 spell and trap card zones, but it's still nice to be able to dump out of your hand if you need to. And then, of course, getting the search when one of your other normal monsters destroy a monster at battle is pretty good as well. So yeah, that's it for the monsters, only 7. For spells, we of course have the 3 Pacifists and the 3 Terraforming. It's crazy how even with this engine, maximizing with 3 Pacifists, 3 Terraforming, you still honestly do not see the Pacifists enough. I think there was a game in my locals yesterday where I didn't even see Pacifists at all or Terraforming at all until I resolved my 3rd card demise of that game. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, if you can get Pacifists on board and get it established and keep it on board, the amount of advantage the card nets you is just ridiculous. Then we play the 1 Phantasm Spiral Crash and the 1 Phantasm Spiral Grip. I was considering adding in the Phantasm Spiral Wave, but it's not nearly as good in my opinion as these 2. The Crash, it's pretty good for the piercing, and then of course when you inflict battle damage, you summon out the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, and then can change one of your opponent's monster's battle positions. And then Grip, adding the extra 500 boost, and then when it destroys a monster by battle, you get to summon out the Phantasm Spiral Dragon. If anything, if I were to add another equip, I'd maybe consider bumping Grip up to 2, because it can be kind of hard to actually beat over bigger monsters with this deck. So having the option for a second one could be useful, but yeah, the 1-1 was fine because you can easily search these out. Then the 3 5 Formation Tenki to search out our Beast Warriors. Then the 3 card demise and the 3 pod duality because they're just really good cards, and this deck doesn't really ever special summon outside of summoning a token for pacifists. For traps, we have the 3 Phantasm Spiral Battle. It's just really crazy how you can pop any card on the field with this card, and then even use it as a hand trap if you have the Yuumi and a normal monster on board. Then only the 2 Spiral Power. This is a really good card, but not as good as Battle in my opinion. And plus, there's a lot of other effect negation you can play, so that's why I personally cut it down to 2. This is really good, not only for effect negation, but for damage step shenanigans. And then I actually was able to win a game yesterday because of its graveyard effect. Being able to banish it, and then equip a Phantasm Spiral equip spell from the graveyard onto one of my normal monsters for more damage, and to get out the Spiral Dragon, was able to win me the game, so that was nice. Next, for the hot tech that I was playing for my locals, the free summon limit. I'm not sure if this is really too great in the meta right now. If you're going to like a big event right now where it's zoo infested, this might be pretty good, but once we get a ban list and hopefully zoo finally gets the nail in the coffin, I'm not sure how good summon limit will be. But in my locals, where there's a bunch of World Chalice players and some Spiral players, it's actually pretty good. I ended up winning a game against a World Chalice player, Robbie. He treated one of my vanilla monsters for a kaiju, and then he normal summoned Mystic Shine Ball, and in response to the Shine Ball, I flipped Summon Limit. And I showed him the ruling on this, where if you flip summon limit at any point, it counts any of the previous summons that happened in the turn. So, for example, if he were to say use Monster Reborn as his third summon, and I chain this, the Monster Reborn would completely fizzle out. So that's honestly what makes summon limit so good. You can use that in that way to just completely stop your opponent in their tracks and not have to just like preemptively flip it. So yeah, summon limit was pretty good, at least for my locals. I decided to play the Champion's Vigilance in the main. It actually was pretty good when I saw the field spell, but the one problem I always have with it is that, you know, it's completely dead, obviously, if you don't have the field spell, if you don't have the Phantasm Spiral Dragon on board, but when it works, it's really good. Next, the 2 Justy Break. Never really got to resolve this card, but it's good in theory. Basically, when your opponent attacks a normal monster, you flip this, and it destroys all monsters on the field except for face-up attack position normal monsters. So it's like a Mirror Force for normal monsters, but better, because it also destroys defense position monsters. But you could play something else, like a Storming Mirror Force, since there is some destruction protection going around. But, yeah, Justy Break, you know, was okay. As I said, I didn't really see it, so I couldn't really tell you how good it is. The 2 Solemn Strike, which is pretty standard. The 1 Skill Drain, because you really obviously don't need effects at all. And then finally the 1 Solemn Warning. So that's our 40-card main deck. I'll go ahead and show the extra deck really quick. I only went into Tornado Dragon yesterday, but it didn't really make a difference whether I would have or wouldn't have. It's just kind of here just in case, I guess. For some rank 4s, we have Abyss Dweller. Tiger Caintus, we play Beast Warriors. Karen Gorgon could be nice to protect the field spell, I guess. 1 Castell, Cowboy, Ragna Zero, Giant Hand, Utopia, Prime, and Lightning, so the full engine, because we have a lot of space in the extra deck. The 1 Crazy Box, if we're under Skill Drain, Tornado Dragon, and then for rank 8s with Phantasm Spiral Dragon, we have the 1 number 23, 38 Hope Harbinger, and then the new rank 8 from the Megatins, number 68, whatever his name is. So yeah, that's the extra deck. For the side, we have the 2 Gamma Seal. I don't like the idea of having to play Kaijus while you're playing, you know, Demise and Duality, but the way this, you know, format is now and probably will be going forward with True Dracos being a thing, Masterpiece being a thing, you do kind of need some kind of out to a monster like that that isn't destruction based. So that's why I do play the Gamma Seals, and it did come in handy in the local yesterday. Next, the 2 Cosmic Cyclone, also for the True Draco matchup. Definitely would play a third one if I did own one. I'll probably be picking that up along with a couple other things on my next pay here on Thursday. Then for some more board wipes, we have the 2 Dark Hole. Going first, we have the 2 Heat Wave. So I know Heat Wave is an absolute blowout card if you open it in your opening 5, but if you draw it outside of your opening 5 or see it later in the game, it's absolutely dead. So that's why I personally don't like maining it. I'd rather side it in going first and have it as like a Saki side card if you do open it. And I end up cutting it down to 2. May end up cutting it completely because I just don't have, you know, a lot of luck with this card, unfortunately. And then, of course, the 1 Raigeki. We have the 2 Chaos Trap Hole here for Denko Seka, here to stop the summon of Masterpiece. The 2-Dimensional Barrier. I was able to pick these up at my locals yesterday. Not the best card against anything outside of Zoo right now, but it's still nice to have in the side deck for Zoo or for, you know, random rogue decks. It's unfortunate that you can't call Lynx with this because, I mean, this just does nothing against World Chalice. And then finally, the 2 Harpy, or the Heavy Storm Duster. Good for going first against a back row heavy deck like Paleozoics, so, you know, decent for Rogue. Just a good card in general. So that's it for this updated deck profile on my Phantasm Spirals. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I probably will be bringing you guys a new Wind Witch Trickstar list here for the next few days or a week or so. I have the Wind Witches coming in the mail now, and I'm hopefully ordering my playset of Ash Blossoms once my next pay comes in on Thursday. So do look forward to that. It's probably what I'll be taking to the Columbus Regionals, which is coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited for that. So remember, guys, again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.